Most people go through life reacting to everything around them. They react to their social media feed and they react to their boss calling them in for work. They get caught up in the urgent things in life, which in turn makes them think they're important. In order to get a break from this constant stress and worrying, they do other relaxing activities like watching television, playing video games, or other potentially self-destructive habits like drinking. They get so caught up in these two areas of life that they completely forget about what is most important, the things that are not urgent on the surface, but simultaneously the most important things we could be doing right now. Do you want to know what these things are? What is up, YouTube? For those of you who are new here, my name's Aidan Helfant. I'm a freshman at Cornell University, and I like making videos on just all sorts of things. I like to help people make their own journey through life by just kind of sharing what I've learned through mine. Hopefully through the process, we can all come out happier, healthier, and more fulfilled. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most influential books I've just ever read, which is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. One of the most important habits that I learned from reading this book was the idea of putting first things first, which is habit 3. We're going to start by talking about why most people fail to take control of their life. Then we're going to go through the idea of putting first things first by defining the 4 quadrants of time management. Let's get into it. Most people are going through life reacting to the things around them. Rather than flow through life, they let life flow through them. They get a job when their funds become too low to sustain them. They procrastinate until the deadline is straight on top of them and then they have to get it done. If we want to take control of our lives, we have to ditch this reactive mindset and turn it into a proactive one. Mold the situations of life towards you rather than responding to people molding your life themselves. In the words of Stephen Covey, take charge and assume responsibility. Don't just let external events happen to you. It's funny because many people say that with great power comes great responsibility, but in fact, it's actually with great responsibility that comes great power. I mean, think about it. What does the word responsible even mean? Response-able. You are able to make a response. You know, sure, some things in life may not be your fault. You know, you get called into work and then you miss a workout or a run, but it's always your responsibility to react in a productive and good manner. So now that we know that we need to move from a reactive to a proactive mindset, what are the areas of life that we even are doing in the first place? Covey defines 4 main quadrants of time management. So the first quadrant is Quadrant 1. Quadrant 1 basically encompasses all the urgencies in life. You know, your house is burning down and you have to put it out. You lose your job and you get sat out on the streets. Quadrant 1 people often let the urgencies of life completely consume them. They get so caught up in these major distractions that they literally have no time for anything else. The next quadrant is Quadrant 3. Quadrant 3 is basically made up of all the really meaningless distractions in life. You know, meaningless phone calls, unnecessary reports, irrelevant meetings, other people's minor issues. Quadrant 3 people often think they have no time to do anything because they don't. They're so constantly absorbed in irrelevant and meaningless matters that they're literally unable to think about doing anything else. Next, we have Quadrant 4. So Quadrant 4 basically encompasses all the classic time wasters. You know, you got your television, video gaming, and other avoidance activities. Now, obviously, that's not to say that these are all completely just time wasters in general. Heck, I enjoy the odd game of League of Legends every now and then. I think everyone needs to relax and unwind. The problem is that a lot of people do it way too much in excess. Quadrant 4 people spend so much time doing these activities that just like the other 2 quadrants, they're unable to focus on what truly matters. Now, of course, it would be really ignorant to say that every person is kind of in one quadrant. I think it's actually a mix of these 3. But the ironic thing is that oftentimes the most important quadrant gets completely overlooked because of these 3. If we really want to actually influence the world and truly become happy, we need to focus on Quadrant 2. Quadrant 2 encompasses all of the most important things in life. Now, the problem is that often the most important things are also not urgent. It's easy to say that you'll skip a run or you'll miss a workout today because there's always tomorrow. Now, the real question is how many fewer tomorrows will there be because you skipped out on training your cardiovascular endurance and building up your muscles? Quadrant 2 is basically made up of all the tasks like proactive work, learning renewal, important goals, planning, creative thinking. All of these things just get shoved to the wayside by the other three quadrants. Problem is that all too often, ignoring these things have no instant ramifications. It's only months or years down the line that the consequences of ignoring the most essential things in life will show their ugly face. Now that we know the four quadrants of time management, it's really only up to you to decide which quadrant you actually want to be in most of the time. All I can say is you need to become a proactive rather than a reactive person, and you need to accept that you literally control everything that you do in your life. I think once you accept this, you're going to be able to do things that you just literally never thought you were capable of. If you want to learn and grow with me even more as you make your journey through life, be sure to check out my other videos. I'm going to be having a note-taking video up, as well as other fitness and health-related content that I already have on the channel. Remember, I'm not saying that I'm absolutely a guru at any of this stuff. I'm simply kind of like putting it out there that I read this book and saying what I think the book is trying to get people to learn, and hoping that it helps someone in some way. So please, in the comments, if you guys liked any of what was said, be sure to write down your thoughts, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.